a great op-ed this week, and I think it's something that we got to talk about, because you know that if it was on the other shoe, this would actually probably be a bigger story than all of the coronavirus stuff combined this week, and that's the IG report and the stuff that's coming out about basically, you know, the Comey, FBI, and other deep state corruption and just lies that have been, you know, proven time and time again. That, you know, again, now the media, no one's going to talk about it. No one's going to talk about what went on. They're not going to revisit this issue because, you know, God knows they staked their entire reputation on it for 3.5 years, only to be 100% wrong. You know, the New York Times won Pulitzer Prizes. Who, you know, I'm sure they're not giving them back, even though the reporting is 100% fictitious at this point. And we know that. But you wrote a great op-ed about it. Let's go into that a little bit detail, because I think, you know, people have to realize, you know, not just for the future, but also what my father has been up against for the last few years, what he's been up against. Meaning, it's not just, well, you're doing the job as the president. You had every single institution within government, all of the deep state guys. And when I say the FBI, I don't mean the door kickers. I love those guys. I mean, those are the guys that I shoot with. Those are the guys that come up to me at SHOT Show and say, you know, I'm so pissed off that these bastards tarnished my badge that I retired from or that I still have. And, you know, the door kickers are awesome. And they're pretty damn MAGA from what I've seen. It's the 7 bureaucrats at the top that were sitting in offices that never have carried a gun, have never fired a gun, have never done anything other than kiss ass and be bureaucrats. Those guys did some pretty despicable things. So, you know, why don't you talk about that a little bit? Because you went into great detail.
Yeah, because and your point, though, is we all honor the men and women of the FBI. Look, when we were all kids, one of the things you wanted to be when you grew up was an FBI agent. I mean, it is, being in the FBI is an honorable thing, and it is a great organization. And what your dad said, what the president said was, there's human scum at the top of the FBI. There was, you know, the McCabe's and the Comeys of the world were bad apples, and they unfortunately ruined the lot. So he got rid of those people, and what we now see is the Horowitz report, which came out in December. We're now seeing the footnotes being declassified, and I have a couple questions, which is, why did they need to take 4 or 5 months to declassify those things? What, we couldn't handle that?
Taking care of themselves.
Absolutely.
I mean, Chris Carr. I mean, I can't think of a better example of government corruption at its finest. I mean, this is who's investigating the investigators, that they could get away with this. And when you read the IG report and then you read what the media's like, well, there wasn't, you know, whether it was FISA abuse, well, there wasn't because there's a low bar, but they don't talk about then the 17 examples of flagrant lies to the FISA court. You know, you think they would have given me the same benefit of the doubt if I lied in front of Congress, or you think my ass would be in jail with Michael Avenatti right now? Like, guess what, guys? I ain't getting that break, but, you know, Brendan and all those guys, no problem. You know, they lied to Congress, but it was only a little white lie. You know, I wish that people who were Trump supporters would get the same benefit of the doubt, but they wouldn't. So, I mean, Chris, give us your thoughts on some of the government corruption, and how do you push that forward so that something actually happens? Because, again, is it just the kind of thing, well, we drag it out, let's get it past November, you know, maybe if the other side wins, then we can just make this whole thing go away, and America's going to forget that the leading group in the FBI and other intelligence things were literally plotting a coup against the duly elected president of the United States. Now, I know, according to the media, that's fine because the president is Donald Trump. But imagine, you know, George Bush tried doing this to Obama on the way out. You wouldn't be able to end the sanctimony. You wouldn't be able to end the outrage that would come from the media. But in this case, they're just like, nothing to see here. Let's move on. Let's move on. I mean, this should be the story in the world, you know, probably second to COVID, but like certainly close. And at any other time in history, at any other time outside of the last 2 months, it would have been the biggest story in modern American history, and they're trying to pretend like it never happened.
We will make America great again.